Welcome back to Caffeine Confessionals. My name is Allan. If you have not watched the challenge Battle for a New Champion episode 17, I suggest you go and do that because I'm about to interview two of the most recently eliminated cast members, which if you clicked on this video, you probably know who they are. Olivia Kaiser and Michele Fitzgerald, two major characters from the season. Unfortunately, we only had 15 minutes to talk, so we were really limited. A lot of questions I had for them got thrown out the window. I wish we could have talked more, but in these 15 minutes, I got to ask Olivia, what's the situation between her and Nurys? What were her feelings of regret? I got to talk to Michele about her elimination and what's going on between her and Callum. We also just had a good time. They're very nice people. I wish we could have had a little bit more fun instead of just, talking all about the negative parts of their game. But overall, it was a pretty good, fun interview. And here it is right now. Okay, it's not often that you get to be joined by one, let alone two people the internet has never once said anything mean about ever. And I get joined by two lovely ladies who have dominated our screens for the last two seasons, Michele and Olivia. It's great to have you two.
Thanks
for
having
us.
Here. I know you got the controversial duo of the season. So, I mean,
Right?
I know we don't have a lot of time, but we got a lot of shit to say.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes, and I have a whole list of stuff. And mentally, as we go through, I'm gonna be like, all right, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. But we got to just jump right into it. Michele, we're going to start with you because, no offense, you got eliminated first.
Yeah.
You were playing in my opinion, you were playing a superb game. I mean, you got Kylan, Horacio, all these people out before the final. You had a bunch of allies, a bunch of friends who were willing to protect you. You fall off a log and your game's over. That's got to be heartbreaking.
It is. It's just the way that the cookie crumbles in this game. You can control at only so much. And the game will come to get you one of two ways, only one person's going to win at the end of this. So if my social game was perfect, well, my physical game wasn't. So we did the best we could.
I thought you did a pretty good job considering all the cards on the table, but I'm sorry. I like straight up. I'm sorry because I think this was. I mean, it was a season that you put you or Jay in a very good position to win.
Yeah, I think people are going to be pretty happy that I didn't win. So at least the internet will be happy. Sure, I had a few tears. I'm still kicking myself over it, but ultimately, the internet will love it. So there's that.
A bad part of the internet will love it. A bad part.
That's what I like to hear. I'm over here like, I don't love it.
Now, Olivia, you've had yourself, a pretty big couple weeks on here. And obviously, I want to jump right into the move you made last week with your decision to save Mariah instead of Nurys and the ensuing drama that happened and friendships kind of like not being messed up. But I want to say this. You could tell at the beginning of the episode, you had immediate regret. So I'm not going to harp on you for that because your face at this episode was just like you were dealing with your own decision of it, like in the moment.
Mm.
Would it have been almost easier for you to have been eliminated that episode? Because it felt like you looked like you were in pain the rest of the way there.
Yeah, I mean, I was checked out definitely after that because I was like, beating myself up obviously about it. And I talk about on my podcast that I had immediate regret more than just the beginning of this episode. I had immediate regret right after my decision and how everything fell into place. It just cut it out. This episode was cut. Me saying that I wanted to switch places with Nurys. So this episode, obviously, I'm upset. And at this point, I just obviously did not care to win. I didn't feel like I deserved to win. I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. I felt like I was a coward, and I just felt a lot of things, a lot of emotions when you have done something that is regrettable. So yeah, I mean, at that point, I kind of was just like, fuck my game. Like, I still obviously put up a fight. I'm not saying I gave up on it or anything like that by any means, but I was more like, as long as Nurys is safe from this elimination, I'm going to be hopefully redeemed in some way by her. I didn't really care. Obviously, it sucks to get hate on the internet and see everyone talk when they don't really know the true situation of the matter, or, they have really strong opinions, and that's fine. It still hurts, still sucks, but the people I care about at the end of the day are the people that were affected by it. So, yeah, in that episode, I guess I was just really just like, if I can do anything to save Nurys and make her time easier for the last couple days we have, then I'm going to sleep at night a little better.
The hate has been a lot, and people do have strong opinions. I mean, you follow me on Twitter. You know I'm a person who has a lot of just strong opinions. And on that episode, like I let it fly with the way I was feeling, towards that game move, because I thought it was a really bad game move, like straight up objectively.
Oh, listen. Yes, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. But there's so much more, I think, in the dynamic of the house that is not shown, and truly no one will understand unless you're in the game, of how overlapping friendships can be, and like moves can be on the fly, and there's so much more that goes into the game that people really don't talk about. So it's hard, but at the same time, I'm learning from my mistakes, and also learning that, to be honest, like, I don't really care what people say that are not in my life and affected by me personally. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to let it go off my back. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody who was there for the whole situation, obviously, I had been asked to tell Olivia prior to the voting. And truly, it was like 3 minutes before we were leaving to go vote. Jay gave me the list. I said, I have to tell Olivia that she's at the bottom of the list. So all of this is really super on the fly. It's not a fully baked plan in any way, shape, or form. All I know is that Olivia is my friend, and she doesn't want to be on the bottom. So I'm going to do what I can do to make sure that she's not on the bottom. And we see it all play out, like, cards or domino effect, dominoes getting knocked over. And I don't think we fully kind of understood the repercussions of me switching the plan. And I see it, you see it because Berna's upset. I'm not thinking about, oh my God, well, who's going to go in and take that spot? I'm just thinking like, literally, okay, right now she's upset that I just told her that, even though I was trying to just warn her so she'd be prepared. And you're not thinking about like, shit, well, this could happen. This could, like, you're just impulsively like, I want to save my friend. She's upset right now and she doesn't want to go in. She fought for her way here. So I think from this decision, Olivia said she was checked out at this point. Like, there's a point in the game where everybody gets to. People like Nurys or Berna, whatever, we're seeing them kick into this gear towards final, where they're moving, like, their trajectory now feels like they're amped up. They're kind of ready to get there. Whereas people like me and Olivia, from a game move like this, like, I feel like we were kind of checked out. And so it can kind of go one of two ways, and that is going to affect how you perform and how you kind of navigate the end game of politics. So, I mean, the meltdowns didn't help.
Yeah. Let's talk about that end game, actually, because we see in that last week, again, power of editing. I don't know how realistic it was, but Nurys pitches that idea for the all-female final, which, hey, if you're running alongside James, who can't really run, I really love that idea. But how valid was this? Because I remember there's a scene in it where it gets pitched to you, even, Michele. I could see the gears turning in your head. It was a very Survivor-esque look where it's like, am I going to cut Jay at Final Four for the final tribal council? Because it does seem like a great idea, but how realistic was it?
I think for me personally, like, I mean, I have been at pretty much every Survivor season that I've been on. I've been in a female alliance. Even coming into this game, I was prioritizing the girls, Jay. And of course, there are layers and levels to the protection or who you want to work with or whatever. But when it really comes down to it, like, we've all gotten this far. We're so close to the end. And my chances of winning are going to be better stacked up against people who are physically as capable as me. And I think from maybe a game perspective, I wouldn't have wanted like Corey or Jay to go in. But from like the gamer perspective in me, I'm like, this is my best chance. And if they're my friends, they'll understand. So it's kind of just kind of seeing both sides of it. And how badass would it be to run a final with all girls? Like that would be so freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So my mindset was truly considering this.
Okay, Olivia, were you all aboard for it?
Oh my God, yeah, of course. Those guys, I mean, only one, right? Which is kind of crazy. And the guys didn't have my back. The only person that had my back at the end of the day when push came to shove, in the moment of me almost going into elimination was Michele. So at this point I was like, honestly, screw all these guys, don't care. And I also wanted to, like, again, whatever was going to appease Nurys at this moment to make her feel like she had a better chance to win and fight and just make it easier on her, I wanted to do 100%. And honestly, at the beginning of the season, the all girls final was pitched like the first week by who was it? Big T.
Yeah,
And Big T was right. Honestly, she was right the whole time. We should have like had more of a mindset on this. That we should have had more alliances within alliances, probably even like girls, and maybe the guys should have had their thing. Who knows? But the guys were all up each other's ass the whole season, anyways. Let's just call a spade a spade. They always are, and the girls are like, oh my God. But yeah, it sucks. It would have been so. What do you think? Like, I think an all girl final would have been dope.
at this point, it's such a dick measuring contest. All the guys are like, the only threats in this game are Horacio and Kylan. I mean, and then when or Ed was before that, or Manuel or Jay, but like nobody was looking at these girls and being like, we're threats. And that should say something about how this single winner format is designed potentially against the girls. Now, there are always going to be equalizers in the challenge or whatever it is, but in order to level the playing field, I think an all-girls final makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
I think their target was always what guy's the biggest threat. And then we see Nurys take out two guys and a third this episode. And it's like, have you guys kind of dropped the ball and maybe not recognized that there are threats right under your nose?
Look, at this point in time, I'm just watching Nurys like she's a superhero. So I fully believe like women can do anything. I mean, she destroyed. If you just watch elimination, apologies, Olivia. She destroyed you and James in that elimination. Like she just feels like on another level right now. I think she could do anything. And I think women mostly can do anything. They can do anything. Yeah. I there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about game wise, but we're limited on time, so we got to get a little messy. Just get into the interpersonal details that people want. Michele, for you and Callum's wedding, was everyone in the house going to get an invite, or does a Hui who got like eliminated early, does she not get an invite? I'm kidding.
There's definitely some people in this house that would not have been invited. Callum first on that list.
Okay, where do things stand with that guy that you knew for 2 weeks in a house with face tattoos?
Where do we stand? We
Yeah.
stand. I would say tune into the reunion for that, but we're not standing anywhere.
Great. And now, Olivia,
Mhm.
you got a lot of people we got to talk about with. First off, what's the situation right now between you and Nurys? Because I think that's what everyone wants to know about. You obviously talked about it a little bit on your podcast, but like, let's hear it here.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like it's ever changing. We were good. I wouldn't say friends, but we were good. Obviously, to this episode, she kind of seems pretty forgiving. And honestly, in person, without the editing, she was. And I was like, oh my gosh, good, because she knew where I was coming from when I explained it to her. I think rewatching it definitely opens old wounds, and I think she sees different parts of it. So as of right now, we talked, she sent me a text. She said that she takes back her sorry and she does not forgive me. And so we're back on that bandwagon. And that's, she's entitled to her opinion and her feelings. So.
Okay. Now, I think the obvious thing is I'm going to ask you about Horacio next, but I'm actually going to talk about someone different. What's going on between you and Mariah? Because I feel like every so often on the timeline, you guys had a little bit of a blow up. I don't see Mariah mad at people very often. What's the situation of your two's relationship?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. Our dynamic always has been kind of iffy. We'd be friends and have fun, and then there would be like something that was said about one of us to each other by someone, and it kind of just goes back and forth by that. I think that, especially in this game, she protected James so much, and the only person she knew that really was like gonna protect James with her was Michele. And she was really really protective of James. And I mean, honestly, there's not really much to say about it. I really don't have, I wish I had a straight answer, but I think some people just don't vibe, and some people are just not meant to be like close, and that's just like what it is.
I get that completely. We all have that person in the
Yeah.
friend group. It never fully clicks.
And I love them both. I can just say, as friends of both of them, they're both amazing. And I wish that they would see eye to eye and be all
Hey, Michele, we watched this season. We get it. You have a lot of friends.
No, not these two. These two are like,
Hey, we know you love them all. We know you love everyone.
I honestly
No.
Is it a fault of me to love all of my friends? You try living in a house with people and not being friends with them at the end of it. Of course. I mean, it doesn't hurt that I hooked up with half the people on every single season of the show.
I also think, Michele is a good friend. That's why she has friends and keeps the longevity of her friendships. And but I will say, they don't show me and Michelle's friendship at all really this season. Me and Michele were literally connected at the absolute hip. And
Berna was
yeah,
Berna being mad about our friendship, but they're not really sure, which is strange.
Yeah, very, very strange. But I mean, like I said, in editing definitely has a trajectory to make you a certain type of way, and I definitely was edited to be this, for this moment to be dropped. So they left out a lot of the things that I would have liked, known or shown.
Yeah.
Okay, God, this podcast as a whole has just been very sad. There's a lot of drama here. We lost here. I'm sorry you two because I like to
I
have
don't
fun.
feel sad. Can I just say I don't feel sad about leaving.
I don't. Yeah.
Really,
Either.
Okay.
Me neither.
I know it seems like yes, it seems like going this close to the final, it could be this really sorrowful thing. But I swear, I got home and I felt like I played with. I mean, people will argue this, but I felt like I played with as much integrity as possible. As many friends as I had in this game, we're seeing majority of my friends, if they were not purged, are still in the game. So I feel like I was really proud of the way I played, whether or not, other people see that. I left with my head held as high, and so I don't feel sad about it. Really, I don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't second that necessarily, but I think everyone has like a pivotal moment where you like take a big learning lesson, and you just all you can do is move on and learn from your mistakes, and that's what I intend to do. So
Yeah. I mean, I love this tone because I was mostly using this as a transition to be like, let's end this podcast or interview on a happy note where I just ask you, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite guilty pleasure food?
I love curry, Thai curry all the way.
Ooh,
Straight.
okay.
But I lived in Thailand, so I feel like I don't know. I'm at the
Guilty.
airport and I'm already ordering it delivery for when I get home.
Honestly, like I kind of eat whatever I want, so I don't really have a guilty pleasure because everything I eat, I'm like, I probably should eat that. But my favorite food is Chick-fil-A. It's so good. I'm obsessed with Chick-fil-A. Actually, me and Michele had this one night where we ordered the whole entire menu of White Castle, and we ate almost all of it. I think I got the wrong order or something. I ordered 100 burgers. They were small, but like it was insane.
For days.
Wow.
We were eating, the fridge was full. So.
Wow. And you did it all sober too. Wow. That, obviously you did that all sober.
Did I say
that? Look, at the end of the day, people are going to remember this interview for Michele flexing on us that she owns a Peloton, and that's really.
The thing is, I would face it this direction, but Draco has made a mess of all of his toys. So it's like you gotta go either that way or that way. That was a mess. So it's more of a coat hanger than it is a Peloton. Let's be honest.
Right.
All right, ladies. I wish we had hours to discuss everything so we could have a little more fun, but this is the time we had, and it's been an honor talking to you both. Yeah, pretty much just thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.